What's up, everybody? This is Dante Savage, CEO of Prolinked, and you're listening to the Prolinked Podcast, the show that connects the sports industry all around the world. How you doing? This is Dante Savage from the Prolinked Podcast. We are here at GMP Podcast Group Studios. Definitely, I'm your host, Dante Savage, and we have Nate Jackson, pro wrestler, father, businessman, etc. But we're going to sit here and learn a lot more about him and tell his story and how everything got started, early years to the later years, and, just what professionally, what's the ups and downs of, being a pro wrestler and, going to the Olympics and what's the, just the whole gist of being in that realm of the sports industry. So, yeah, how you doing, Nate?
I'm doing good, Dante. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to learn more about you as well.
Definitely.
Let's do it.
All right. Just right now, just let the viewers know, like, who you are, where you from,
Yeah. So my name is Nate Jackson. I'm from the south suburbs of Chicago. I actually live in New Jersey right now. Been here for 7 years with my family. We got a crazy story, so I'm excited to roll it out. Right now, I live in Hunterdon County, New Jersey. I rep New Jersey now. I've been out here for a while, and I think it's home. Most of my family is still in Chicago, but I have family all over the country now just because of my travels. Hoping to get some family on the West Coast now. But yeah, I'm just excited for your time.
Definitely. So, Nate, a lot of people that are not in the wrestling industry are the American wrestling, not like WWE. This is more a very athletic type of wrestling, gecko Olympic type wrestling. And, just want to know, like, how did you get started wrestling? Like, what was that first push? Like, who pushed you to wrestling? Because a lot of guys don't just, start wrestling because it takes a certain type of mindset to do what you guys do.
Yeah, for sure, man. There's a lot of great sports out there. I grew up just a huge sports fan.
Okay.
So, like, I'm from Chicago. Like, we had the Bulls, we had the White Sox, the Cubs. Like, sports was big in our culture.
Yeah.
I grew up playing soccer, playing baseball, playing
Definitely.
basketball, playing football. And my dad actually, he was raised in an area that kind of needed some sports.
Okay.
He thought wrestling was a really good disciplinary sport just to help create some structure for the young men at the time. And I was the lucky kid who had the dad who started the wrestling club. My dad didn't have any wrestling experience. He only wrestled for a year in high school.
Okay.
But he had a lot of respect for it. He started, and I lost every single match my first year.
Seriously.
Every single match. But because my dad was the coach, I wasn't able to quit. He didn't let me quit. And then after that year came and went, I seen all the other guys have success. I wanted to taste success in the sport.
Okay.
And that's how it kicked off for me. And dude, like right now, I'm living my dream. I'm teaching wrestling every single day. I get to travel and share wrestling with other people.
Nice.
And it's changed my whole life.
Nice. No, definitely. So let me ask you a question. So when did you like the process of being a wrestler? What is the process of being a wrestler when it comes to like training and being disciplined, especially coming at a younger age? Because I know your father trained you, but how did you get better? Like, what did you have to do to get better?
Yeah, I can't attribute any of this stuff to myself, honestly. I think just like any other sport, like when you were growing up dribbling the ball, who did you want to be like? You know what I mean? You want to be like one of the top guys. So being able to have my dad was super connected. So he's a barber. He's still a barber. He's been a barber, like opened up his own shop since he was 18.
Gotcha.
And he just is very connected. He was able to bring some really high level wrestlers just to my view. Shows I saw myself in those dudes. And I was like, okay, they told me that if I keep going, I could figure it out.
Gotcha.
Time and time again, like that just was true. Like I did start to figure it out, but it's a lot of discouraging, man. Like you fall down a lot in our sport.
Yeah.
Even the top guys who, win Olympic medals, who win world titles, we take a lot of losses. Obviously, it's not like UFC where you get knocked out publicly. Like that's tough. Like I can't even imagine. But it's super physical. It's super physical. So
Yeah.
it's emotion. It can be emotionally scarring for young men and women who start. So learning how to deal with failure.
Why is just you could just dealing with the failure and stuff like that?
Yeah, man. And my issue was like I was a really poor loser.
Got you. Okay.
So like again, I told you I did baseball, football, basketball growing up, and it was always easy to lose.
Usually it's super competitive
because they're a team.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, if my guys made us lose, like I was down people's throats.
Yeah, I was the same way. Yeah, same way.
My dad, he wanted me to learn how to take some accountability.
Okay.
So he put me out there on an island. Like you're on wrestling, you're on a stage by yourself.
You're by yourself. Uh-huh.
So every time I lost, I looked around and there was really nobody to blame but myself.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy because in life, like I think wrestling is a lot like life. In life, we're put in situations where we got to make really good choices. And the more accountability that we take for our choices, the quicker we can learn the lesson that we needed to learn and move to the next step.
No, definitely.
So that sport really accelerated that journey for me. And dude, I'm still, because you got a family.
Yeah.
We fail every day, man. We fail every day.
Definitely.
But getting back up is the key.
Exactly. Exactly. So you have so let me ask you, do you let your kids wrestle or no?
So I am fortunate to have my oldest be my son, but I have four kids.
Oh, congrats. 3 guards. Oh, yeah. You ain't ladies around wrestle.
My son is a wrestler. My girls, they know how to wrestle, but they like dance. So like they do ballet, they do cheer. Mom is a pageant queen. So like,
okay. Yeah.
They're following in her footsteps.
Yeah.
I got my son. So I'm grateful to just have one wrestler for now. I think my youngest daughter is really interested in starting wrestling, but
you just have to see
the path for everybody.
See where the path where their life leads them. So no, that's definitely
sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then let's get back on track to your younger years. So who were some of the guys that your father brought to your forefront, and just like how did they help you get better?
Yeah.
What are some of the names that you used to look up to?
Yeah, so it started with my pastor, right? My pastor was a state champ.
Okay.
And he had a son who was a multiple time state champ. He was a couple years older than me. And then my dad, like after a year where I started to have some success,
okay,
and decide that I was a wrestler, he put me in a really competitive program in the South Side of Chicago.
What's the name of it?
And it was just a bunch of dogs.
What's the name?
Just a bunch of dogs. The name is the Harvey Twisters.
The Harvey Twisters, okay.
And they just have a lot of Olympian wrestlers who had come through the program. They have a lot of guys who wrestled at like universities like Iowa and a lot of
their lists. Yeah, all the big play schools, yep.
So like I was able to see, once a week I'm seeing somebody who, is competing for a 4th state title. I'm watching somebody who is wrestling in college come back and give back. So I thought it was just normal for me to want to be a wrestler and like want to go to college and wrestle, and then to be able to continue to wrestle. I just turned 30 this past year.
Okay.
At this age, it's only a testament of the sport, and the sport is growing like crazy right now.
Okay. Is it growing more in the States? Because I know like 10, 15 years ago, it really wasn't that big.
Yeah, that's a great question. So when I wrestled in college, I graduated in 2017.
Okay.
We like I had kids in college, and I wasn't able to even take care of any responsibilities or bills with wrestling.
Gotcha.
But now the sport has grown so much that, there's a kid this past year who just signed a $5 million NIL contract.
Seriously.
And what that means is they're going to be way more professionals who come out of that in a couple years.
Yeah.
Which is really great. Why I really was attracted to your platform because you're interested in having other sports and hitting those markets. And I think it's sort of like to share.
No, definitely. Yeah, man. So like, definitely it's a being, doing what I'm doing and just going through the process of being a CEO and being a host and learning how to adapt into other markets, like especially in the European market, and you start going to the Chinese market, and then you go over here to Africa. Like you tapping into people all over the world because
That's crazy work.
it's a worldwide business. Soccer, everybody knows soccer is a worldwide business. And then you putting AI to the soccer into recruiting, and you're working to do that. So it's like, okay, how are we going to implement this into with the FIFA administration? Because like when it comes to data with soccer players, FIFA is going to come knocking at your door. Like
For sure.
because they run the whole they run the whole thing. Like anytime
Most powerful sports organization in the world.
no, seriously. So, like if you could get that implemented with different people from the FIFA industry, and then you dealing with video VAR, in that type of way. Like, like I just got in touch with a gentleman from the Netherlands. He has VAR. He's working on VAR for AI. So it's like, okay, this could be a good thing, a good collaboration. But
Sure.
I ain't gonna say too much about it. But like it's just gonna help the sports because it can help it in this platform can help in all sports. People get more visibility, especially in wrestling, soccer, some of the smaller sports too. Because a lot of people don't know that not soccer, but wrestling, track, tennis, now pickleball, uh, what else? Golf. Freaking what else did they play out there, man? Beach volleyball, uh just it's a ton of sports out there that get promoted, they get sponsorships, like they got big teams like handball. People in there watching handball. You know what I'm saying? And they're bringing in crowds, man. Like
It's a lot of
yeah,
companies invested in that stuff.
no, seriously, you got companies because the thing about it is what it is how like okay, so this is how it works out there. Okay, the basketball organization like the La Liga. La Liga is the top conference in Spain. So La Liga, so like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, some of the other clubs out there, smaller clubs out there, right? They have the top tier soccer teams. So they have they have a soccer clubs, right? This is how much money they're bringing in. So they have the soccer clubs. Now they're inducted into FIBA. So Real Madrid has a professional basketball team. Barcelona has a professional basketball team. So all the soccer clubs have professional basketball teams. Then it just trickles down. They got female teams, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like all the teams, all the top tier teams, like all the money is trickled down from the soccer. And then it goes into everything else. But it's bringing so much money in because you could bet on these certain things like Bet 360. Then they have, different sponsorships, like just companies all over Europe that we have no idea about. And like if you want to get into Formula racing, you got Rolex, Pirelli, some of those big time sponsorships. So you got to know all those people over there. So like just over these last 10 years, I've been connecting myself with people in the Formula racing industry, because it's all sports. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, like they deal with a lot of simulation and VAR. So, talking to those people in that industry and on the technical side is very smart. So, like sometimes you got to go to those events. Like last year, I was trying to get out to Sao Paulo to go see the race, so I can go connect with the people in the back end. You see what I'm saying? So like
you're hitting on something really important.
Yeah.
And one of the big reasons why I wanted to branch out and what I'm going to continue to branch out of the wrestling community and try to bring in other eyes and other viewership is just because of that reason. Like we do have to get to other places and we got to get to other events if we want to do something that we have.
Yeah, because I know they probably got stuff in China. They got probably stuff in, and I know more because you more in the industry. So I know it's a lot more people, and especially in China, there's a billion people in there because they playing professional football over there. They play professional basketball, you know, like Charlie, it's over 3 billion people over here, man. They playing all that. They also got, you know, like you hit Japan, Singapore, like Germany, all that stuff. They got pro wrestling over there. They just like if you ever watched have you ever watched BN TV?
I haven't.
So if you ever watched BN Sports, it's called BN, BEIN, BN Sports. I got tapped in when I was a kid. When I say they got every single type of sport that you could think of,
Okay.
if you ever watch BN, just look at BN Sports. They got soccer, they got, I'm telling you, everything. Like water polo, like them, like there's guys out there and female ladies out there, females that's out there getting paid out there. You know, you know, like this is the reason why they need that exposure from the States. These kids need that exposure because it's like, yo, there's opportunities all over the world. You just have to go find them. Australia,
You have to do it.
yeah, you got to put in the footwork. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just they just think like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just post a couple pictures on Instagram. It's like, nah, man, you got to send that film in. You got to, you know, maybe get you an agent. You know, but they out there. You know, like it's just you know just knowing what to do. You know, like and that's why I made this platform because I had to go out there and find my shit. And excuse my language, but find everything I had to do.
Okay.
And you know like just it was the ups and downs and the trials because it was a lot jankier back then. So now everything's starting to get more centralized because they started to see, you know, people are getting taken advantage of and things like that. But back then you just had to know who you was dealing with, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that you see
What's up?
with a sport like soccer, since it is such a big sport and it kind of has, you know, it's hit every industry? Like, what do you see some of
I
the
think
challenges that they face and continue to expand?
Well, I believe that it's always FIFA is always going to expand. You know, like they've been expanding for years, but I think one of the problems that I see is probably just, you know, coaches, you know, not say all coaches, but more in the smaller clubs in part let me see, maybe coaches. That's what I'm just thinking, coaches and agents, because the reason why is because like they feel like I'm trying to take their customer base away from them or take the recruiting process, but I'm actually not trying to. I'm trying to help them adapt to a different way because it's like if there's a way that the clubs can save money and y'all can still do what y'all do at the same time and be more efficient. Like that's all about. That's all it about. Just being more efficient. We're not here to, you know, take your jobs away. You know, like if you,
You're talking about disruptive thinking, bro. Like,
yeah,
okay, so in our sport,
yeah,
that's a threat because anybody who's a disruptive thinker,
yeah,
especially once they've had success and proven success,
mm-hmm,
you instantly become a person who is in the market for that job position. But
exactly,
the issue is when you don't want that job, like you're like, hey, I don't want your job. Like
yeah,
you could coach, like I don't want to coach. They can't make the connection because they're motivated by that. They're motivated by job security and status and
yeah.
titles a lot of time.
Exactly. So it's kind of like, man, we're not like here at ProLink, we're not trying to disrupt anybody's motion. You know, it's a platform where you can still promote yourself. You create a profile. You just using the tools that we have provided for you guys. Like it's not something where it's
It's new. It's something cutting edge. Like you're trying to expand the pie because you cut the pie.
exactly. So it's like, but the thing about it has to be integrated with everybody. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, because you're dealing with AI. So, like, you have a platform that's integrated, especially with FIFA, because you know you have a lot of players. You have different agents that's putting on profile. I think that's going to help a lot for agents to promote themselves because they can find clients and clients can find them. So, you know, it's definitely like, man, if you got a million wrestlers on there and you an agent, man, you got dudes all day. You know, like you know, you see what I'm saying? Like
about as well.
you see what I'm saying? Like, and you gotta think about each sport. Like but you gotta be a certified agent to be on there. So it's like, hey, if you're not in the FIBA or any type of administrations, like we have the partnership with all like the NFLPA, the FIBA administration, FIFA, because the thing about it is like if you put agents profiles on there, you gotta have the agent numbers, the FIFA numbers, the NFL, every agent comes with a code number. So if you ever go to any type of big time agency or go through like any organization, they're always going. All the agents there is going to have a certified number connected to their LLC or their corporation. So like they have to have that, and a lot of people don't know that because you got them third parties that be doing, like, oh yeah, I know such and such. Like, nah, we don't want to know such and such. Do you know the coaches? Do you know the GM? Because real agents, they go straight to the GM. They go straight to the scouts. They ain't going to my homeboy's brother that work at such and such. He know what's called a cut hair. Like, no, we ain't doing none of that. Like, we get straight to the point. So it's like you market yourself and just I just seen like all the stuff I had to go through. So that's what made me do that. Cause Prolinked and Mobile Prospect is the same thing, but it's two different platforms. You got one for the youth and one for the professionals, but it's running off the same system. So, you running two platforms off the same system. So it's like,
this makes a lot of sense, man. Like even the way you're breaking it down to me, I think just if this is something that you'd be interested in kicking toward wrestling, like UWW, is the name of the organization that kind of governs. And
you see what I'm saying? Yeah, the one that just makes sure everything is in line, make sure the foul play.
United World Wrestling. And we're in a space now where, I recently left a very stable position at Princeton University. I was there for 7 years.
Princeton?
I coached at Princeton University.
Hell yeah. No, that's dope. That's dope.
Training, as a professional athlete.
Yeah.
But I've been there for 7 years. I coached on the national finals. I've coached multiple All-Americans. But I left the position because of what I have kind of foreseen with the sport and its growth. And I went straight private.
You want to get a piece of that, get on the business side of it. You just,
that agent process that you was talking about, something that's beginning in our sport because kids want to make good decisions financially for the first time.
And then
for the first time.
And definitely, and people, a lot of kids don't know, like, like those NIL deals where they giving you all that money, like they don't know that they have to pay taxes. So it's kind of like one of those deals that is just that you have to deal with. We got 10 more minutes, but we just have to deal with it. Like that's I believe like that's some of the things that kids need to get educated on is the financial side. And like ProLink, that's what we want to do is help the kids financial side. Put tutorials on there, how to pay your taxes, how to do all that, because you're a 1099, you're a private contractor. So it's like, hey, you getting all this money, like make sure you put that money up, take at least about 40% and put all that up at the end of the year or invest it, do what you need to do with it, but just don't blow your money, So it's kind of like, I think that's the biggest thing because you giving these kids a lot of money at a young age. Because when we was in college, I graduated in 2014. I came in 08. So we wasn't getting no checks. We was getting 800, bro. We
was working the field, bro.
We was getting 800 a month. Like, I was like, bro, I was saying, that ain't nothing. Like these dudes, oh yeah, I just signed a NIL deal for 15 million. What? Yeah, like, it blows my mind, but I'm happy because like they don't have to make some of those rash decisions because like everybody didn't have it, so like people were doing things that they didn't need to do to keep food on the table. Plus you going to school and you working out and doing all that stuff. So it's like you making people in a cool position and not a vulnerable position. But this is the last thing I want to ask you. Being a pro wrestler, going to the Olympics, like doing the whole, like just the whole being an athlete wrestler. I want to ask you this before we go. What was it like just being like in that position to be on that big stage?
Let me be as transparent as I possibly can be, right?
Okay.
I'm from humble beginnings, man. Like I'm from essentially nothing. My dad kind of created something for our family, but we had huge dreams and goals. My wife was from the same neighborhood. So I knew her. She was in my preschool class.
Oh, so y'all grew up with each other. Okay.
We grew up
Oh,
together.
okay. Got you. Yeah.
We had our son when we were 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And congrats. Absolutely. Thank you. Because
Yeah.
most people said that was a curse. That was going to be the thing that stopped us from marrying to go.
I already know, bro. Yep.
And we have 4 kids by the age of 23.
Uh-huh.
So for me, man, like, honestly, I only wanted to be able to provide for my family.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the hand of God, man, like, I was able to provide at a much sooner time than I thought that I was going to be able to. And it had started raining, dude. Like, I had made more money than I had ever made. I had seen the world. I went to Kazakhstan and Germany and Switzerland and in Mexico and Guatemala, and
Yeah.
I accumulated 10 international medals, and it all culminated with me winning the World Cup over Iran and helping USA win the world title that year.
Nice.
At the same time, I was on the verge of a divorce with my wife. Me and my children didn't have a very, very personal relationships. I was super depressed. I was overworked, and I contemplated suicide.
Yep.
So
me.
I think
went through the same thing, bro. Yep.
So the biggest thing for me, like, in having that experience, I know that God used me as an example, because in wrestling, nobody really got fame and stardom like that.
Yeah.
Say for a couple individuals, but right before, like, this boom where now kids are getting $1 million contracts, and like people who are in college are all set. Like, they're all set. My life kind of was an exemplar for the whole wrestling community to see, like, this is what it looks like for somebody to crash and burn. I actually started a business as well, and the business it still exists today. But I lost my ability. I decided to walk away from that business and entrust it with other people because of the things that I was dealing with at the time.
Yeah. Just had to get your mind right.
I had to understand that, like, that's the fame, the stage, and all that stuff. It's very cool and very glamorous, but there's 2 sides to everything.
Yep.
In the world, if you're on a mountain in the world, then you might be in another place mentally, in another place spiritually.
Definitely.
So, I have to shed a lot of the world, man. I have to say, hey, I'd rather go into the shadows. I'd rather go back home. I'd rather do the things that set me apart in my own house, in my own mind, as opposed to just performing forever, being on a stage forever.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is, when I made that decision, I didn't really know what was going to come of it. And what came was peace. And once I understood who peace was, what peace was in my life, then I can now chase that in business. I can now chase that in all of my relationships, and I don't have to race anymore. I can still want to be a Olympic champ in 2028. It's in LA. It's in LA in 2028.
Okay.
I can still, travel the world and compete, but I'm not racing anymore.
Yeah. You're not
in the same way. I'm competing with myself.
Yeah, like you're not hopping on flights and doing all that no more all the time. You doing this for internal reasons, and I feel the same way doing Prolinked and doing this podcast, things like that. Because like I said, I've been through the same thing, playing in the NFL, traveling from city to city, doing all that. And eventually, like sometimes you just gotta walk into that darkness. Because like you said, I went through the suicide. My father passed. I got addicted to pills, and I wasn't even trying to get addicted to pills, I'd been through a lot of, ups and downs, like just going through depression and all that stuff. And just like, I get it, having kids, being married, like I definitely get it, bro. Cause right now I just got divorced. So, I'm glad that you guys stuck it out, but, just for other reasons, but, I get it, bro. Like, being a single father, got to start over. Being a chef, like I was a chef for 5 years at a real successful restaurant. And now all of a sudden the restaurant just shut down. So like now I gotta, I'm moving back to Vegas to go stay close to my kids, but it's like I gotta start all over again. You see what I'm saying? So like I'm in, so I have to put myself in a position where I'm doing what I need to do. Like right now I'm in this contest called the Carla Hall Favorite Chef. And so, like, on my Instagram, like, make sure y'all go vote for that, too. So yeah, make sure I echo. Well, yeah, Carla Hall's favorite top chefs. Dante Savage on my Instagram, Sir Savage _503. But yeah, but like it's an opportunity to win $25,000, but like I have no problem because I was paying myself. I was a silent partner. But I got dishes, Hennessy wings, Dirty Mac. Like I got a lot of different types of tomatoes. Yeah,
I gotta mess with you, bro.
yeah, man, nah, for sure, man. If you ever come out to Vegas, because I'm about to move out there.
So
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna be in Vegas this year.
hell yeah. Nah, definitely. Use the link.
I'm hearing your story, bro. If I'm being real, like I don't want
Yeah,
to
go ahead.
overstep.
Uh,
And I didn't imagine me and my wife being together because of the things that I've done to her and the things that she's done to me.
gotcha.
I didn't imagine that. I almost lost my father to COVID. He was in the hospital for 30 days. He was out for 20 days. He was completely out.
Gotcha.
And he's made a recovery.
Uh-huh.
So you're talking about some things like you're dealing with things that I have no idea, bro. Like I never got to the other side of those things.
Yeah, like to be honest, it's heartbreaking, but like it was a eye opener because it's like you got to see who was really there for you. You know what I'm saying? Because your pop's always gonna have your back. You see what I'm saying? Like if you doing right, he gonna let you know. If you doing wrong, he gonna let you know. So it's like one of those type of deals. But me and him was real good friends. But I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yo, no.
Yeah.
Before you go, let me.
Yeah, say one more thing and say
with you.
All right, go ahead.
I know you're a man of God. Father God, in the name of Jesus, I come just thanking you for another day. God, thank you for leaders that exist all over the world. Thank you for the light that you put in each person, every human on the world. God, I pray that you just increase that light. I pray that you grow your presence in people's heart. Every day people need you for different reasons. And we call you by many names, but you know us. So God, I just pray that you just continue to lead us on this journey that we're walking and continue to allow us to keep our head up, continue to give us great ideas throughout the day. Say that every positive thought is coming from you. So God, I pray especially for my brother. I pray for his children and his family. I pray for his health. We need more lions out here taking care of their family in any way that it takes form. God, I pray that you increase his platform so that he can spread positivity and he can help other people get where they're supposed to get to. Let him be a connector, God. Allow his platform to just connect individuals and just give him peace, God. I have no idea the things that he goes through on a day-to-day basis. I know that sometimes it feels like hell. I know that even today and even just throughout our weeks, man, we have days and moments where we're just down. So God, I just pray that your presence you could just make yourself evident to him in those moments. Allow him to, receive a message from a friend or receive a message from a family member that encourages him throughout each day, and allow him to pour into others so that he just knows that he's capable of continue to pour. It's tough being a man out here. So I just pray for the men that are listening. I pray that you cover them. I pray that you cover their ears to all of the negative garbage that we hear and we take in every day, just being a man. And I pray that you cover his mind, just so that he could be clear, to clutter his mind, to clutter his heart, so he could be clear and he could just go straight to what you have for him. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen, man. No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you praying for me, man. And then also, man, I just want to let you get a shout out for your, talk about your business. Like, what's your organization, Instagram, so people can find your location and just your business so it can grow.
Absolutely. I have a program. It's called Varsity. I train athletes, specifically wrestlers. It's faith-based, but our training is focused training. So we learn how to stay focused in the heat of battle, in the heat of struggle. Life is the biggest test. So excellence is our goal. We're trying to make young men and women of integrity. And you can follow me at Nate the Great Jackson on Instagram, primarily. That's where I am.
Nate the Great.
I had Nate the Great Jackson. I do varsity clinics nationwide. I'm a competitive athlete. I'm a current Team USA wrestler, and I plan on winning the Olympics in 2028.
No, definitely. You hear right now. This is the first time you hear Nate the Great Jackson. Like he's a humble gentleman. Family man. I could tell that he disciplined. Like he's a pro wrestler. I seen this film. I seen his workouts. He cold, man. Like, first of all, you can't get on the USA team if you ain't got that juice. Like,
they got it. So, hey, these kids are getting good.
Yeah, I know. No, I understand that, but you got that experience on your hands. You might throw one of them old school moves out there that get them off balance, man. Like, because the thing about it is I still play sports too. So some of these dudes are good, but like just the wealth of knowledge that with age comes with. So, like
I got the savvy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. So, like, it's all good, man. I appreciate everything. And then I just want to tell the viewers, make sure you go follow Nate the Great Jackson, follow Prolinked Podcast on Instagram, and make sure y'all click the link on Carla Hall's Favorite Top Chef 2025. Go out there and go vote right now. And I will be putting the link in the description below. So follow, like, subscribe, and I just love everything that you guys doing over there in New Jersey. So, definitely I'll go follow you guys, and you guys be out. And Nate, I appreciate you coming through, brother. And I appreciate the prayer too. Definitely. I respect.
Appreciate you, Dante.
No problem.
Being a savage, bro.
Oh, no, always.
We'll say
always.
Man.
Oh, no, definitely, Nate. Yeah. I got you locked in, man. But you take care, man.
Thank you.
All right, man. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
You have listened to the Prolinked Podcast with your host, Dante Savage. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and check out our sports memorabilia merchandise on shopprolinked.com. Thanks for listening.